What's going on, world? How you? My, hope everything is well with y'all. I I've encountered two situations recently, and I just feel the need to speak on them because these situations highlight a larger issue at hand. And so, I would just like to shed some light on these things from my perspective. So, the first situation was I'm at Walmart and it's a black couple and they're in there with their daughter. So I'm sitting in there, I'm sitting in Subway because I'm waiting on somebody. And they're already in there. So I want to say, yeah, as I'm walking through Walmart, I hear a dude calling the little girl bro. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my God, man. I'm like, why is he calling this little girl bro, man? So, I go about my business or whatever, and I go in the Subway. So I'm sitting there, on my phone waiting for who I'm waiting for. And I just hear the same guy, say to the little girl loud as fuck. Like this nigga says this shit loud as fucking Subway. He's like, bro, why are you so fucking annoying? And I'm like, yo, why is this nigga talking to this little girl like that, yo? Like, this nigga's crazy, man. And he's in there with a shorty. Shorty ain't saying shit like, yo, this shit is fucking wow, yo. So, that's the first situation. The next one, I'm in urban air with my son. Once again, another nigga in line with his babies. And he gets to talking crazy to this little girl. Bro this, bro that. I can't remember exactly what the fuck he said to this little girl, yo. And then she cops an attitude and was like, yo, you're so annoying. And his response was something to the effect of like, bro, now you're not getting nothing. And I'm like, yo, this is Yo, this is why she's talking to you like this in the first place. Look at how you choose to communicate with this little girl. Now, in both situations, looking at the dynamics, I believe them both to be their fathers. I'm sure about Urban Air, but the Walmart, I'm not sure if that's. But it was like, in the black community, the men and women seem to be at odds with each other. And I'm gonna be honest, man. Both sides just need to shut the fuck up and get their shit together. You know what I'm saying? Because nigga shit stink. For real, it does. And I be out and about and I be encountering situations like this. You know what I'm saying? With males and with females. Females just talking to their kids crazy too, and I be like, yo, that shit is wild, yo. How niggas be out here talking to their fucking kids, yo. For real. For real. You know what I'm saying? That shit is wild. And I be wanting to say something. I do. Pull them to the side, try to have a polite, respectful conversation. But, it's just like, I don't know how people will respond to that because not everybody can take that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's open to be pulled aside by a stranger and given a different perspective as an adult. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a personal example for me myself. You know what I'm saying? I had cut my son's hair, but I don't shape him up. You know what I'm saying? One, because of the grade of hair he got, and on top of that, I don't have the clippers. You know what I'm saying? I don't have trimmers, and so I take him to the barber now, but at that time I was cutting his hair, and when I cut his hair, I actually did try to shape him up this time with the clippers that I got, and it didn't turn out bad, but it could have been better. You know what I'm saying? And his hair is growing back, and I'm looking at him like, yeah, I need to cut his hair again. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm telling myself. And so then a couple of days after that, I take him to the park. You know what I'm saying? I was in a separate area of the park where he was. Because it wasn't just me and him. His mother was there as well. So I was in one area of the park and they was in the other area. And so, I go to get him so we could leave. And as I get him, there was a crowd. There was not a crowd, it was a group of niggas. It was like 3, 4 niggas. For sure it was 3. Might have been 4, but for sure it was 3. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga called me out. For real he did. but he called me out in a way where he wasn't like he wasn't speaking directly to me, but he spoke in a way in which I knew he was talking to me though. You know what I'm saying? You know, he said something to the effect of, niggas got their son out here looking like how they did when they was younger and shit like this in the third. You know, basically, I could tell the nigga was speaking about my son's haircut. To keep it all the way funky with you. I instantly knew he was talking to me. But I ain't get offended because one, it was something that I had already thought of, you know, already had that thought process about it. I already thought about it, so it didn't. So there was already that, but then it was like I actually appreciated the fact the nigga called me out. Cause I looked at my son and was like, yeah, I should have been cut this shit. Should have been had something done with it. It wasn't even really that it was that too bad. It was just at that point in time he needed a cut, but it didn't look right. His cut didn't look right for real. Cause his hair had started growing back. Like it didn't look too bad when I first did it, but then when his hair started growing back, it looked the ways. You know what I'm saying? And so you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's open to that though. I took it in stride. For real, next day, got his hair cut. Shout out to the nigga who called me out because he did it in a way, you know, he ain't even pull me aside. He just got loud. I appreciated it, you know. You know, sometimes I know. You know, I said that to say like, part of me feel like I should have said something. But it's like I mean, you know, I can't say something every time. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's open to being talked to, especially by a nigga you don't know, a nigga just pulling you to a side and be like, yo, you shouldn't. I mean, for real, I feel like we need more of it. For real, I do. You know. But again, not everybody's going to take it how I took it. For real. I appreciate that nigga. I don't know the nigga name. The nigga don't know my name. He might remember who I am, but I doubt I remember who he is. I probably will though, because I don't normally forget a face. We gotta get rid of this low vibrational shit, yo. This energy, this thought process, this speech, this mentality, this lack of emotional control, just low vibration shit. You know what I'm saying? And we wonder why shit is the way it is, man. But this is why. It really starts in the crib. You know, we got a lot of babies out here being raised by unhealed people. And they're out here raising these children while they have a perspective of survival mode and trauma and but that's also to say that, you know, we can help by holding ourselves accountable. And one of the ways that you hold yourself accountable is also by the things that you allow to happen. So say something. You know, if you see something that going on in front of you that don't sit right with you, if the opportunity presents itself, speak on it right then and there. Say something. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. But it starts with fixing ourselves, though, because we're fixing ourselves. You know, everything else falls into place. You know, there's different layers to to these types of situations. I mean, of course, it always leads back to yourself as an individual, no matter the situation. Because you're the creator of your reality. And everything in your reality is a reflection of you. To change the world is to change you. Stay in pursuit of the end of anything that keeps you from being your authentic self. To the next episode.